the awakening of action, unlocking the mind's secrets to conquer. Procrastination 1, the mysterious tenant. Do you know that feeling? That important project, that crucial email, the gym you promised yourself you'd go to, and suddenly the clock has run out, hours have flown by, and you find yourself exactly where you started, motionless. It's as if an invisible chain holds us back, preventing us from taking the first step. This has a name: procrastination. It's more than just laziness. It's a complex labyrinth that forms in our minds, and worse, it steals our dreams, our energy, our potential. But what if I told you that this chain isn't unbreakable? What if I showed you a light at the end of this labyrinth, based not on willpower, because let's be honest, that rarely works long term, but rather on how your brain actually works. Today, we will unravel the codes of procrastination, not with cliche advice, but with a journey guided by neuroscience and behavioral psychology. Prepare for a transformation that goes far beyond doing more. It's about doing intelligently, doing with purpose, and most importantly, unlocking the potential that has always been dormant within you. Imagine for a moment that procrastination isn't a character flaw. It is in fact a very old tenant that lives in our brain, a tenant that tries to protect us, but which most of the time sabotages us. It has a scientific name: the limbic system, our emotional and primitive brain. Thousands of years ago, this tenant saved us. Faced with a predator, procrastination meant waiting for the right moment, fleeing immediate danger. Today, the predator is your to-do list, an annoying email or a tight deadline, and your brain's instinct, absurdly, is to distance us from this threat. Immediate gratification is this tenant's preferred drug. Scrolling through social media, watching a funny video, eating a sweet treat. This generates dopamine now. The important task, that reward only comes later. And our prehistoric brain isn't very good at waiting. I remember a crucial project I put off for weeks. Every day, I convinced myself that tomorrow would be better. What was I gaining? The temporary relief of not having to face the immediate discomfort of that task. But the cost, the cost was the growing stress, the guilt, and the loss of valuable mental energy that could have been used to create something incredible. Understanding this mechanism is the first step towards combat, not against an external enemy, but against the deeply rooted pattern in our instincts. It's not a lack of willpower. It's a lack of a smart strategy. 2. The 5 neuroscientific pillars, Pillar 1 and Pillar 2. Now that we know the enemy, it's time to chart a map. These are not temporary productivity hacks. They are 5 fundamental pillars, scientifically proven to restructure your brain for action. I call them the pillars of awakening. 2.1 Pillar 1. The power of the small win, activating your reward center. Remember dopamine, our brain's favorite drug. Instead of letting it be hijacked by avoidance, let's use it to our advantage. The key is the small win. Your brain loves completion. Every time you complete a task, no matter how tiny, it releases a small shot of dopamine. This creates a positive feedback loop, a positive vicious cycle. What's the action idea? First, eat the small frog. If you have a giant task, break it down into the 30-page project. Open the document, the gym. Put on my workout clothes, the intimidating email, open the inbox. Second, the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it in now. Don't write it down. Don't postpone it. Just do it. My desk was an incredible mess. I would put off organizing the desk for days. One day, I applied this rule. I'll just put away this loose pen. In 30 seconds, the pen was in its place. What happened? My brain felt the small win and pushed me to put away one more item and then another. In 10 minutes, the desk was spotless, and I felt victorious and ready for the next important task. This is the power of starting a positive dopamine cycle. It's not about the size of the task. It's about the momentum you create. 2.2, Pillar 2, the Ultradian Shield, the secret rhythm of productivity. Your body is not a machine that works continuously at peak performance. These are cycles of approximately 90 to 120 minutes of high focus capacity, followed by 15 to 20 minutes of needing rest. Forcing yourself to work for hours on end is like trying to run a marathon without drinking water. You enter ego depletion, your decision-making and focus abilities drastically decrease. This is precisely what the procrastinator does. The action idea here begins with the Pomodoro technique optimized version. Instead of 25 minutes of work and 5 minutes of rest, try 45/15ths or 90/20ths. Work intensely for 45 or 90 minutes with total focus without interruptions. And then truly rest for 15 or 20 minutos. But what is active rest? What does truly rest mean? It's not scrolling through social media. That's more stimulation. Rest means getting up, stretching, drinking water, looking out the window, meditating for a minute, or listening to relaxing music. Give your prefrontal cortex real rest. I used to exhaust my brain trying to write a script in one go. The result, hours of unproductive work, full of mental interruptions, and much more procrastination in the next session. When I started applying the Ultradian Shield, I realized that in 45 minutes of deep focus, I produced more than in 3 hours of broken work. And the 15-minute rest recharged me. It didn't drain me. Work with your brain, not against it. Respect its natural cycles, and you will see productivity flourish. 3. Chapter 2. The 5 neuroscientific pillars. Pillar 3, Pillar 4, and Pillar 5 2.3. Pillar 3. The irresistible first step, producing friction to start. The biggest obstacle to action is often not the task itself, but it's the initial friction that holds us back. How do we make the first step so irresistible that procrastination doesn't stand a chance? Inertia is real, both in physics and in the mind. It takes more energy to move a stationary object than to keep it in motion. Our brain prefers the path of least resistance. So let's make the path to action as easy as possible. The action ideas in this pillar are: first, environmental preparation. Is your workspace inviting or full of distractions? Tidy your desk the night before. Leave water by the bed to drink when you wake up. Have your gym clothes ready. The fewer decisions you have to make in the moment, the better. Next, the extreme simplicity rule. What's the smallest, most ridiculous first step I can take? If you need to write, open the document and type one word. If you need to make a call, pick up the phone. If you need to study, open the book to the right page. I hated folding laundry. Huge piles would form. My irresistible first step was, I'll just fold one shirt, just one. What happened? By picking up the first shirt, my brain was already engaged, and folding the others became a natural, almost automatic sequence. The initial friction of folding the laundry was overwhelming. Folding one shirt was not. Don't underestimate the power of simplifying the start. The first step is the launch pad for your entire day. 2.4, Pillar 4. The iron morning shielding, your start to the day. How you start your day is the most important battle against procrastination. Iron morning, the shield you build to protect your focus and energy. Upon waking, our prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning and decision-making, is fresher. Furthermore, the body is preparing to release cortisol, the wake-up hormone. A good morning ritual not only optimizes these hormones, but also consumes micro-procrastinations before they become larger ones. To do this, start with the 3 acts of awakening. First, immediate hydration. A large glass of water right after waking reactivates your body and brain. Second, natural light and movement. Go out into the sunlight or sit by a window. A short walk or stretch readjusts your circadian rhythm and improves your mood. Finally, the 5-minute meditation reflection. Just 5 minutes of silence to plan the day or meditate clears the mind and sets intention. Turn off notifications at this time. Another tip is the caffeine interval. If you consume caffeine, wait at least 60 to 90 minutes after waking. This allows your natural cortisol to peak and reduces dependence on caffeine to truly wake up. For a long time, the first thing I did after waking was grab my phone. The result, a flood of emails, news, and social media that already stressed me out before I even got out of bed. My iron morning changed everything. By drinking my water, walking in the yard, and reflecting for a few minutes, I came to my desk with clarity, intention, and without the chaotic urgency that previously defined my start to the day. Your morning is your starting point. Protect it, and it will protect your day. 2.5. Pillar 5. The sanctuary of concentration environment and focus. Your environment is a mirror of your mind. A chaotic environment leads to a chaotic mind and, of course, to procrastination. Create a sanctuary of concentration. Our brain is highly susceptible to external stimuli. Every notification, every item out of place is a micro interruption that requires energy to reorient focus. This leads to task switching cost, which drains your productivity. The action ideas here involve the principle of essential minimalism. Clear your workspace. Have only what is essential for the current task. Phone, social media, TV, all of these should be out of your sight and reach. Also use digital distraction blockers, apps and browser extensions to block distracting websites and applications during your focus periods. Be ruthless with notifications. I used to have my phone next to my keyboard just for emergencies. With every ping notification, I lost my train of thought. When I started putting it on airplane mode and in another room during my focus sessions, the difference was striking. I could deep dive into the task without interruptions and, most importantly, without the anxiety of missing out on something. Your environment can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Build your sanctuary. 3. Navigating hidden currents. Part 1. Procrastination is often a symptom of something deeper. It's how our brain deals with fear, anxiety, perfectionism, or simply a lack of clarity. Let's navigate these hidden currents. 3.1. The perfection trap. The enemy of done is perfect. Many of us procrastinate because unconsciously we fear our work won't be good enough. Perfectionism is not an ally of quality. It's a disguise for procrastination. The pursuit of perfection, it overloads the prefrontal cortex with an infinite number of variables, making starting the task much more intimidating. The fear of failure masquerades as I need to do this perfectly. So what's the idea? The applied 80-20th principle. What's good enough to start? What's the 80% of the result I can deliver with 20% of the initial effort? The first draft is meant to be bad. The first version is meant to be incomplete. The goal is completion, not initial perfection. Also create a clear definition of done. Before starting a task, define what it means to be done. It's not of a perfect book, but write a chapter. It's not do the perfect tax return, but gather all the documents. I had an idea for an ebook, but I kept putting it off because I needed more research. I needed the perfect structure. One day I decided I'm just going to write the first topic, and I'm going to make it as simple and quick as possible without worrying about quality. That ugly draft of one topic led to another and another. Perfection would come in the editing, not in the initial creation. Don't wait for perfection to start. Start to become perfect. And remember, done is better than perfect. 3.2. The anticipation strategy. Dealing with future anxiety. Often we procrastinate because the task causes us anxiety. We imagine the worst case scenario, the difficulty, the pressure. This anticipatory anxiety freezes us. The brain is very good at simulating future events. If these simulations are negative, it triggers a flight mode, which translates into procrastination. We need to break this loop. To do this, create a detailed action map. Break down the intimidating task into such tiny, clear steps that the anxiety diminishes. Instead of prepare, presentation, list up in PowerPoint, choose, template. Define 3 main topics. Research images for topic. 1. The more granular, the better. Practice guided positive visualization. Close your eyes for a minute. Visualize yourself completing the task. Feel the sense of relief, of accomplishment. Your brain doesn't completely distinguish reality from vivid imagination. By rehearsing success, you reduce the threat. Lastly, adopt the worried dumpster. Whenever an anxious thought about the task arises, quickly write it down in a worried notepad and decide, can I solve this now? If not, leave it there and return to the task. If yes, create a microplan to solve it. I had to make a difficult phone call. My anxiety mounted. I kept putting it off, thinking of all possible reactions. I started writing on a piece of paper. 1. Pick up the phone. 2. Dial the number 3. Wait. 4. Say hello. 5. Explain point A6. Wait for a response. The detail diminished the monster. Visualizing myself making the call and feeling relieved afterward helped me push that first button. Anxiety feeds on uncertainty. Clarity is its antidote. Our brain is a master at finding excuses. But what if you could trick it into staying committed? It's called the secret contract. We're wired to follow through when we commit to someone else. The fear of social embarrassment or the desire for approval are super powerful motivators. So, how do you do it? First, find an accountability partner, a friend, a colleague, anyone. Commit to checking in with each other. Knowing someone is expecting an update is a game. Second, create a reward or punishment system. If you finish your task, you get to watch your favorite show. If you don't, you donate a small amount to a cause you don't support. It works. Finally, remember, procrastination isn't just in your head. It's in your body too. What you eat directly affects your focus. Ditch the sugary snacks that cause energy crashes and brain fog. Start your day with protein and healthy fats like eggs or avocado for stable, long-lasting energy. Feed your brain the right fuel and watch your productivity soar. 6. Chapter 4. The Complete Arsenal Movement and Conclusion 4.2. Restorative sleep, your brain's daily reset. We underestimate sleep at our own peril. It is during sleep that your brain resets, consolidates memories, and prepares for the next day. Poor quality sleep is an open door to procrastination. Sleep deprivation directly affects the prefrontal cortex, decreasing decision-making ability, focus, and impulse control. This makes the limbic system, the lazy tenant, even stronger. To optimize sleep, prioritize a nighttime routine. Create a relaxing ritual, 60 minutes before bed. Turn off screens, take a warm bath, read a book, meditate. Signal to your brain that it's time to slow down. Ensure total darkness and ideal temperature. Keep your room as dark as possible and at a cool temperature, between PMY degrees Celsius and minus 68 degrees Fahrenheit. This optimizes melatonin production and sleep quality. And above all, maintain a consistent schedule. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same times, even on weekends. This regulates your biological clock, the circadian rhythm. I was the king of staying on social media late. I'd wake up exhausted, drag myself to my desk, and spend the morning fighting the urge to check my phone or do anything but the important task. When I started shutting down 1 hour before bed and reading a book, my sleep quality dramatically improved. The next day, I was more alert, more focused, and less prone to giving in to distraction. Invest in your sleep. It's the best investment in productivity and well-being you can make. 4.3. The movement of mastery exercise for an active brain. Your brain was made to move. Physical exercise is not just for the body. It's a powerful fuel for the mind, one of the greatest antidotes to procrastination. Exercise increases blood circulation in the brain, releasing neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine, which improve mood, focus, and cognition. It also reduces stress and anxiety, which are major catalysts for inaction. Start with small bursts of movement. It doesn't have to be an hour at the gym. 10 to 15 minutes of brisk walking, some stretches during your ultradian rest period, taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Any movement counts. Integrate regular aerobic exercise. 30 minutes of moderate aerobic activity 3 to 5 times a week is a powerful neuroprotector and mood booster. And most importantly, find what you love. If you hate the gym, find an activity that brings you joy. Dancing, swimming, cycling, playing ball. Consistency comes from joy. I dreaded the idea of going to the gym. It was a burden. I shifted my perspective to taking a vigorous 30-minute walk, listening to an interesting podcast. Suddenly, the task stopped being a chore and became an opportunity for well. Not only did my body feel better, but my mind cleared, and ideas flowed after each session. Move, breathe, feel life. Your brain will thank you with renewed focus and energy. Conclusion. Embrace the journey of action. We have reached the end of our journey. We've seen that procrastination isn't a moral failing, but a complex interplay of forces in our brain. But the game can be won, and with every small victory, you rewire the neural circuits that once held you captive. Start small. Use the dopamine power of small wins. Respect your brain's ultradian rhythms. Reduce initial friction by making the first step irresistible. Protect your iron morning. Create your sanctuary of concentration. Unmask perfection. Face anxiety with clarity. And use the secret contract of accountability. And finally, nourish your body and mind with the best: nutrition, sleep, and movement. Remember, transformation doesn't happen all at once. It's a journey, one step at a time. But every step is a victory. Every step is a choice. And every choice brings you closer to the action-oriented, purposeful, and accomplished person you are meant to be. If this video has helped you see procrastination in a new light and given you practical tools, please like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the channel to continue your self-development journey. Let us know in the comments which of these pillars you will start applying today. And if you want to delve deeper and become part of a community that constantly seeks personal mastery, click the Neurovox Society link in the description to join the waiting list. There, you'll gain access to exclusive materials, workshops, and a support network to take your action to the next level. Action begins now. What will be your first step?